Today we're looking at the true lone wolf of the Mega Man franchise. Someone who has no friends, hates just about everyone, and is nothing more than a little ball of edge, angst, and anger. But that's exactly what makes him cool. Let's jump in and take a look at the lone wave road rider, Rogue! Rogue was first introduced in Mega Man Star Force 2. Much like the other characters in that series, he takes on two names. While in his human form, he's known as Solo, which is most fitting for him, as that's how he works, alone. He hails as the lone survivor of the ancient civilization Mu, which were a culture who were blessed by the alien entity Lemu. These people were able to see EM waves, and could work with them. Using an ancient star carrier, Solo is able to EM wave change into Rogue. Solo hasn't had a simple life. He's always been an outcast, and struggled to make connections. He was picked on and beat up, with no one who appeared to care for him. He felt truly alone in the world. One day, though, he sought out those who had been picking on him for revenge. He learned that while together, these people were strong, but alone, they were no match. At that point, he elected to reject everyone. Due to this, he hates the Brother Band, and displays disgust for anyone who uses it. Under all that hate, though, there is a small light in his life. Solo is deeply rooted to his heritage. Despite how much he hates, really just about everything, he loves Mu. He holds the culture of Mu close to his heart. In fact, he eventually befriends, maybe? The last EM being of Mu, known as Laplace, and keeps him close by. He'll go to great lengths to acquire Mu relics and tech to ensure no one uses it but him. In a way, he is selfish, but every time we see someone using Mu tech, it is for sinister means. At some point, he took on the journey to restore Mu, and in his search, he met Lady Vega, who shared his goal. Seeing her as a tool to ease his search, he reluctantly joined her. After seeing her subordinates fail, Solo took it upon himself to deal with the issue of Mega Man. He ends in failure multiple times, which just frustrates him to no end. His disgust for the Brother Band and Mega Man grow and fester inside of him. While he relies on no one, in time he accepted an offer of power from Vega, the Indie Proof. This power, however, comes at the price of removing one's link power. Something he was the only one able to utilize, as he had no desire for bonds. While powered up, he's able to go toe-to-toe with a powered-up Tribe Mega Man, and is even able to defeat him. After another showdown, though, Mega Man overpowers him, and during his recovery of the battle, Vega's right-hand man attempts to assassinate him on Vega's behalf. Shockingly, this doesn't work. Enraged, he takes to the group, and we get to see our first glimpse of him not being totally bad. Vega is looking to claim Mu for herself, and, well, you already know how he feels about people using Mu tech. He makes way to the now resurrected floating content of Mu. Here, he actually saves Mega Man from a battle with Dark Phantom, and then again from being sucked into the Undimension, where Hollow planned to trap the two of them. After getting his revenge there, Rogue makes his escape from Mu, and takes the unconscious Geo with him. He claims that Geo was just blocking his way out, but we all know the truth. There is some good deep down in there. Between games 2 and 3, Rogue befriends, obtains? It's hard to pick a proper verb here, but is joined by the last EM being of Mu, Laplace, a static-like wolf that acts as Solo's wizard. Laplace only talks in static, but Rogue can understand him, which perhaps this was Mu's native tongue? Who knows? We can infer, though, that Laplace is a smart aleck, such as talking crap to Solo, and even deleting his save files from games, all for the LOLs. In Star Force 3, Rogue has taken another personal quest regarding Mu. This time, the bad guys known as Dealer are using Mu tech, and he just won't have it. He's asked to join a Satella police for their elite squad, but declines time and time again. So many times, that he actually just takes to going to the base, takes out a group of guards without EM wave changing, just using Laplace as a sword, just to make it clear, he works alone. But alas, he's not always working alone. At one point, the school is under attack, and Rogue just happened to be around tracking down Dealer. For the first real time, Rogue finds a foe that is troublesome enough, he actually asks for Mega Man's help. The two do battle against giant virus-like enemies that are powered up by noise, a radiation caused by EM technology. It is shocking how well the two work together as a team, when Rogue always works alone. Of course, this can't last, and he throws down with Mega Man before confronting the villain of the week. Rogue is very set on finishing what he starts, and we see that in Star Force 3, as his goal to crush Dealer remains in full, and he's actually able to achieve it. From destroying the Crimson Machine that is very clearly using Mu Tech, to then deleting Corvus and Virgo, finishing off the last members of Dealer. It could be said that this is his reluctant way of showing respect for Mega Man, and knowing he's doing the right thing and wanting the help, while keeping his beliefs that friendship is dumb. In fact, even in the post-game of Star Force 3, Rogue himself admits he respects Mega Man and that he's grown into someone who can make his own decisions. However, the two will never be partners. Rogue shows up in the second season of the anime, which is based on the events of Star Force 2. Here, the story is much different. He doesn't work with anyone. Rather, he's been in a cold stasis on Mu, and awakes to stop anyone from awakening Ramu. He appears early on to battle Mega Man, and frankly, has the coolest fights in the season. He doesn't speak for much of the season, so his personality really isn't explored, though we do learn that he had friends in the past, which is interesting given his whole no friendship allowed in the games. Toward the end of the season, he helps Mega Man take down Ramu, blocking a blast from it and allowing Mega Man to take the shot. The manga is very unknown by many, as it hasn't been translated. But Rogue appears in it, and it's even more different than the anime. Rogue is the head of Mu, and is being sought to do battle by Berserk, which is just Tribon Berserk Mega Man, but he's his own character, alongside Ninja and Sarian. Don't ask questions, you just smile and kinda go along with it. He shows up at the end of the manga to fight Berserk, Ninja, and Sarian, and let me tell you, he is brutal. He comes in and just punches through General Auriga and Hollow. Solo, being a descendant of Mu, has the ability to see EM waves without the need of a tool like Geo's Visualizer. He also is the only person who has been able to EM wave change without a partner. While transformed in the Rogue, he has a whole new slew of abilities to call from. His visor detects EM energy and is able to track the flow of it, allowing him to predict his opponent's moves and capitalize with preemptive attacks. His bracelet allows him to control dark energy, using it for almost all of his attacks. Speaking of darkness, his right hand is completely covered in dark energy. This fist is Rogue's primary weapon at first, and has immense power and destructive capabilities. With it, he's been able to send out energy constructs of a fist, as well as shooting shockwaves along the ground. Rogue moves fast in battle, and this is thanks to his Wave Ride boost system. With it, he's able to move as free as he wants to by using bursts of EM energy. This is what allows him to move in fast after locking onto a target. The crest of Mu he bestows generates a vast amount of EM energy. It is believed that it works in conjunction with the Indie Proof, which, speaking of, the Indie Proof, as mentioned before, is a power-up to Rogue, one that boosts his raw power as well as provides him with a regenerating EM barrier that can repel one attack completely at a time. While he has all that gear to boost him in battle, he also has two weapons. The Rogue Sword is the first one that he uses, a giant sword that he creates out of dark EM energy. His swordsmanship skills are exceptional, much like his martial arts. With this sword, he can send out sonic booms and even unleash a large amount of dark energy when swinging it. He does ditch this sword though, and later favors his new piece of equipment, Laplace. Laplace can turn into a cutlass, which Rogue prefers to use. While he can still perform his other sword moves with Laplace, he can also throw Laplace, who appears to be able to kind of control his movement, and returns to Rogue afterwards. Interesting enough, in the anime, Rogue uses battle cards, such as Stealth Laser in the Gatling series. It's hard to say just how many he actually has in his possession. Lastly, Rogue appears to be able to function in noise waves. While other characters just collapse upon entering, and Geo himself only being able to handle it thanks to his Ace or Joker program, Rogue just brute forces it, or Mu-Tech is unaffected by noise. Whatever the case may be, it's still a useful ability he has to chase people down. Oh boy, theory time! While in the anime, Rogue's placement makes sense. Within the realm of sci-fi magic, that is. But it's always bothered me how he just is in the games. He's the last Murian, he has the abilities, he has the knowledge, and hardly anyone else in the world does. How? We can see that he grew up in this time, meaning there was no deep sleep like in the anime. Mu is thousands of years old. So how did no one know about these abilities from the Bloodline during the Battle Network era? Yes, I know, because it was in the script. But I dislike that answer, so I sought to find my own. And dare I say it, I think I found a link. I believe that there is a connection to Mu from Battle Network that would also explain how Solo is the last Murian, while also explaining how he grew up in the Star Force world. In the cell phone game, Legend of Network, there's two ancient beings who are woken from a 3,000-year cold slumber. They came from Sink Island, which is pretty much Atlantis. Sink Island housed the Trojan Horse, which was the final boss, another gigantic virus-like entity that could destroy the net. However, Bland's grandfather created the current net, meaning this tech from Sink Island would have to be compatible with the net. We see in Star Force that Rogue is able to travel into C-cores, like Geo, and when Geo travels back in time, we see that he can interact with the net and be operated by Lam, meaning EM bodies can effectively be navies. And why does this matter? Because one of the awakened ancients, Charisse, builds a custom Navi Rideband shortly after awakening. The other, Nobody, yes that is his name, is able to make sense of the net and how it works. At the end of the game, Nobody opens an EM wave portal and travels back in time, something we've seen EM waves able to do in Operation Star Force. To wrap it all together, EM Tech works with the net. Mu was founded on EM Tech. The ancient people can also work on the net, no problem. Therefore, my theory is that Sink Island was actually a part of Mu, and that Charisse being from it and remaining in the current time that she's Rogue's relative. Likely Grandma. And so that wraps up the Lone Wolf Rogue. He's edgy, he's cool. What's not to like about him? Even him being a jerk is fun. Feel free to pick apart my theory in the comments below, or just let me know who you want to see in a future video. I have a growing list of requests, and I'm always looking for more. Till next time, rock on!